This is the Astros Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Houston Astros, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Things are not in a good place at the moment for the Houston Astros after they get swept out by the The Athletics, just the Athletics this weekend at home in the 4-game series, as the Astros are teetering into a spot where they are probably going to be staring at, very likely scenario at some point where it's going to be difficult to hold on to the American League West lead if they continue to play the way that they have. Hello and welcome today to the Locked On Astros Postcast. I am your host, Michael Connor. It has not been fun to necessarily do these shows this weekend. I have not had any enjoyment watching these baseball games. I know that you guys have not as well, but we're going to talk it out as we always do on this show, and I appreciate you stopping by if you're watching live and then, of course, watching later on wherever it is, whether it's YouTube or, of course, listening wherever you get your podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first order. Well, there's no beating around the bush as to what you'll be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
This team stinks right now. And we've done this for the last 3 days. This is the 4th consecutive day of it. They are in a world of hurt from the standpoint of health. We know this. Any team that has the amount of AAA players playing for them that the Astros do would be struggling to win baseball games as well. It does not matter who it is. Dodgers, Yankees, Tigers, who, by the way, have been terrible since the All-Star break. Cubs, name any of the division leaders, any of the better teams, the Mariners, the Rangers, whoever it is would be struggling like the Astros are struggling right now. It takes 2 to tango, like I said last night, when it comes to making changes to your roster. But at this point, it's reaching that pee or get off the pot spot for Dana Brown, because we're watching every day. I say every day. They're 4-6 since the All-Star break. Not good. You cannot sustain that. But if you want to keep this from becoming a massive issue where, look, today, if you lose again, or I shouldn't say if you lose, you did lose today. You're 60-46. You're down 14 games over 500, which is still a good clip. But if the Mariners win again today, they're 3 games out. Rangers gained another game today. They've won 5 in a row. They're going to be buyers now at the deadline. I could say anything I want to about those other teams. The fact is this. Right now, those 2 teams, far better than this Astros team. Far better. They can't get deep into games with their starting pitching at the moment. They have taxed the heck out of that bullpen. And guys are not performing in it on top of it. I mean, they just got shellacked all weekend by Oakland. All weekend long. And all that is awful, and you hate it, and it stinks, and it probably drove home the point that you have to get another starter for this rotation. Even with guys coming back healthy, you're going to be using a lot of bullpen because those guys aren't coming back and instantly going 6-7 innings for you. But it does not matter in the grand scheme of, at the end of the day, this team is never going to win baseball games with the lineup that they have. Period. It's not going to happen. They didn't even fart into a win this weekend. Not one. Not even close, really. They can't hit. Taylor Trammell's had some nice moments since he's been here. Of all the, the brief time he's been here. But Taylor Trammell should never be hitting leadoff for the Astros. I mentioned this before. Victor Caratini should never be hitting third for the Astros. Christian Walker should be down in the 7 or 8 hole the way he's performed this season. John Singleton was bumping around in the minor leagues. And I know that people love John Singleton, but John Singleton is a below average player at the big league level. He's hitting fifth for you today. Cam Smith has forgotten how to hit a baseball at all since the break. I'm going to be honest, I don't want to see Cooper Hummel play for the Astros ever again. I was trying to pull up real quick the game. I know Jacob Melton's been on his rehab. Can we get Jacob Melton back up here, please? And even he's not an answer. Melton, by the way, is trying to pull up his game logs. He has played 2 games so far in his rehab stint for the Space Cowboys. And he has 4 hits in those 2 games. Bring him back. Get Cooper Hummel out of here. That guy sucks. Dubon is not an everyday player. He is a utility player that plays 4 days a week. And he's an everyday player for the Astros right now. And then Zach Short is not an everyday player. He's a minor leaguer. So I'm looking at it, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 guys in the lineup today that are honestly AAA players out of the 9 that you play. I mentioned it last night. Altuve is not 27 years old anymore. He's just not going to carry you like that. He can have spurts. Hoping and praying for anything from Christian Walker is a waste of space. You're not going to get it. Yainer Diaz only pinch hit today, but that guy has been a massive disappointment this season. They're not a threat at all at the plate. Somehow they got 12. They had 12 at bats with runners in scoring position today. Of course, they only got 1 hit in those spots. They left 8 men on base. But they wrapped out 7 hits, and a whopping 3 of them were doubles. They're not dangerous at all. They're easy to beat. And they got a Washington team coming in here this weekend, or this week, to kick off the week, Monday through Wednesday, day before, or ends before the trade deadline on Thursday. They're off on Thursday. And look, they should play well against that team, but they're not going to, based off the way that they played right now. And for a team that played such great baseball at home to start the year, it is flipped. But I don't even, again, think it's about the home thing. It's about the fact that they're playing with a AAA roster. And any team, and I can be as frustrated as I am with it, and I know that you guys are as well. But we do have to live in reality with it as well. They're playing with a AAA lineup, and you're not going to win at the big league level with a AAA lineup. And it's not their doing. They didn't say, hey, Jeremy Pena, get a fractured rib. Hey, Jordan, have your hand fall apart. Hey, Isaac Paredes, have your hamstring, blow out on you, and it sounds like it's worse than it actually is. They didn't want any of that. Things you could be mad at is allocating resources on a first baseman who's been absolute trash and done nothing to help you this season. But you go into every season, of course, knowing you're going to have injuries. It's just you can't expect it to hit like this. This has been downright excessive. And they held it together for a good long while. And they were able to because they still had other guys in the lineup. You still had Payne in the lineup. You still had Paredes in the lineup for a while. But as those guys fell off, you're cooked, buddy. You're absolutely cooked. The roster needs to look different tomorrow. Whether that's getting somebody out, Cooper Hummel, bringing Melton back, making a trade between now and tomorrow's game, whatever it is, something has to look a little bit different. Joe Espada changed up the order of it today. But, even that, it doesn't matter. You're just mixing around bad pieces. I don't want to reach a point where we're sitting here talking about, okay, well, there goes the run of playoff appearances for this team. And they still have a cushion. They still have a cushion. But that cushion is going to evaporate quickly. Unless they can get a couple of guys back quickly. You don't love the progress on Payne. You're just now hitting, batting practice. Jordan's still a ways away. like I said, it doesn't sound like Paredes is coming back anytime soon. I mean, at this point, it's August. I think it's a real question of if he plays again this season. The pitching, getting some of those guys back, those arms, it's got to help. But again, that's an easing them back in and having them go short outings and then taxing the bullpen even more. It's a tough spot to be in. But I just can't keep watching the same roster every day. I can tell you that. It is driving me nuts. Where are they going to go? What are they going to do? Let's talk about the National Series as well next here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Let me make you feel a little bit better, maybe about your money. You ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch Money puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. Now, you know what's great about Monarch Money is the fact that you can sit down with your significant other like I do with my wife every month. We sit down, we do bills, we plan out our finances and everything. Monarch Money puts all of the shared accounts into one spot. We can see everything in one spot. It makes it easy instead of logging into this account, that account, whatever. That's what Monarch Money is there to help you with, and I absolutely love using it. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. And one more reminder before we get back to our discussion on the Astros losing again today. Yay. Let's talk to you about a new voice on this program. That's Gameday Hue. Today's episode is brought to you by Gameday Hue. Look, I'll be sporting a new Astros colored theme hat here pretty soon from Gameday Hue. Gameday Hue makes clean, no-logo gear with team-inspired colorways of every pro and college fan base. It's not just the Astros. Maybe you're like my wife. I'll get my wife some Alabama Crimson Tide stuff. It's all about getting your colors, letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course, or anywhere in between. They also have golf gloves, which I'm very excited about. I'm a big golfer. If you're a big golfer, they've got the color inspired gloves as well. I've got the white and red one coming in for myself. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that and giving it a shot out there on the golf course. Right now, you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com. Code even stacks on bundle deals, so now's the time to load up. Let your colors talk because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com. Code MLB15. Another day, another Astros loss that we're talking about here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Thank you for joining us. I am your host, Michael Connor. If you're new to this show, well, don't be a stranger. We're here live after every game, almost every single game, of course. There are always some games every once in a while where we will not have a show. For looking ahead for this week, just going ahead and giving you guys a heads up, we will have a show tomorrow and Tuesday. Wednesday, I don't know. It's a day game, middle of the week. I hope I can pull it off. If I can pull it off, I will pull it off. And if I can't, I'm sorry, but I will try my best to make sure I'm here, or at least in front of my iPad, talking to you guys about an Astros game in the middle of the week, which is a day game against the Nationals. Speaking of the Nationals coming to town, again, that's a bad baseball team coming to town too. The Astros are playing bad baseball. Look, they have to, at minimum, win 2 out of 3 in this series. Minimum. Like, realistically, after getting swept, you need to turn around and sweep them. That'd be so weird if they go sweep, swept, sweep. But I'm going to get greedy right now. Like, I need this baseball team to sweep somebody in the worst way possible. And they need to have a different looking lineup. I'm going to keep saying it until somebody does something about it. Please make some sort of trade today. Fromber's going to go tomorrow's game. Nothing on the docket for the Astros after that because they're piecing everything together. So we'll see how it goes. They're going to probably have a chance to win tomorrow night. They got to score some runs, though. I mean, Fromber can go out and be excellent, but if they keep putting up the offensive effort that they have, good luck. Tomorrow night, Fromber will go up against a man named Brad Lord. Looks like he's a reliever. Maybe they're doing an opener type of thing. I don't know. I don't watch any Nationals baseball. Actually, it looks like his last game he pitched 4 innings. So maybe they're just transitioning him to a starter role. Who knows? But again, after the game ends tomorrow night, make sure you join me right here for the Locked On Astros Postcast right here on this channel. You guys have a good rest of your Sunday. Go do something to get your mind off how bad the Astros are playing right now. We'll talk again tomorrow night after Astros and Nationals.